Welcome to our safety induction for pipeline welding activities. Welding is a critical process in our operations, especially when it comes to pipeline installations. However, it's also a high-risk activity that requires careful planning and adherence to safety procedures. In this video, we'll discuss key safety requirements and best practices to ensure the safety of everyone involved in flowline welding activities. By following these guidelines, we can prevent accidents, protect the environment, and ensure the successful completion of our projects. Let's dive in. Safety requirements. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Always wear the appropriate PPE, including welding helmets, gloves, safety glasses, and flame-resistant clothing to protect yourself from welding hazards. Work area safety. Ensure the work area is clear of any flammable materials and is well ventilated to prevent the accumulation of hazardous fumes. Equipment inspection. Before starting any welding activity, inspect all welding equipment, including welding machines, cables, and hoses for any damage or defects. Do not use damaged equipment. Fire prevention. Have fire extinguishing equipment readily available and ensure all personnel are trained in its use. Keep a fire watch during and after welding activities. Work permits. Obtain the necessary permits before starting any hot work and follow the designated hot work procedures. Electrical safety. Avoid welding near electrical hazards. Ensure that welding machines are properly grounded and that cables are in good condition. Safe work practices. Follow safe welding practices, including proper electrode handling, welding techniques, maintaining a safe distance from the welding arc. Emergency preparedness. Know the location of emergency exits, first aid kits, emergency contact numbers. Be prepared to respond to any emergency situation. Training and supervision. Ensure that all personnel involved in welding activities are trained and competent in safe welding practices. Ensure adequate supervision for unexperienced and newly joined personnel in place. Environmental protection. Take measures to protect the environment, such as proper disposal of welding waste and prevent spills of hazardous materials. Now, let's review the job steps, potential hazards, and recommended safe work practices. When placing the pipe on screw jacks and H-frames, a hazard can be a pipe rollover, sliding, or drop from the support. So, to prevent accident, use the screw jacks of appropriate size based on pipe sizes so that it fits on the screw jack properly. Ensure pipes are sufficiently fit in the screw jack support. Use H-frames at relevant intervals as mandatory to prevent pipe fall or drop from the support. Ensure pipe stopper (BMT) in place to prevent pipe rollover. Be aware of damaged screw jack support. To prevent accident, pre-check on screw jack supports and its integrity. Ensure valid MPI certificates are available. Ensure the damaged screw jacks are discarded from the crew and quarantined. Another hazard can be uneven surface and cohesive soil. To prevent accident, be aware of uneven surfaces and place the screw jacks on the evenly places for sturdy support. Do not place screw jack over the cohesive, loose soil, which may fail when load sit on the support. Do not start any other activities until the pipes are properly kept on the screw jack support. Most common hazard is hand and finger injury. So, to prevent accident, follow Oxy-Take 5 for hand safe. IR gloves used while setting up the pipe on the pipe support. Follow hand gloves matrix. Pinch support register shall be in place and discussed on TBT. Ensure safe hand placement throughout the process. Use hand and finger saver tools, finger saver, F-bar, tag lines, pipe bundle cutters. During fit-up and alignment, installation and use of cage clamp, be aware of fall of pipe or load during lifting for alignment and fit-up. So, to prevent accident, ensure compliance to no walking under live load. Ensure no one is under the suspended load. Only authorized personnel are allowed inside barricaded areas during pipe alignment. Don't try to do the pipe alignments manually using the support of the crew members. The pipe must be lifted using telehandler, forklift, crane during pipe alignment for fit-up. Follow SOP for safe use of telehandler. Use cage clamps of correct size and properly tightened with locks engaged for aligned pipes of the same size. Beware of pinch points and fingers caught in between. To prevent accident, ensure the proper hand placement. Use impact resistance gloves. Beware of pipe under tension. Ensure pipes are sufficiently spot welded prior releasing the cage clamp. Ensure that all crew members are away from the line of fire. Discuss pinch points during TBT and follow Oxy Take 5 for hand safe. Beware of manual handling and drops hazards. To prevent accident, must use mechanical lifting aids and provisions to align the pipes for fit-up. Use of H-frame as a secondary retention beneath screw jacks, minimum of 2 on either side of pipe joining area is mandatory requirement. Don't start any activity without minimum 2 number of H-frame for flow line welding activities. Ensure all personnel are drops trained. Use SWA if foresee any hazard or non-availability of adequate resources for safe execution of welding activities. The next step is tack welding and root welding. At this stage of work, a hazard can be electric shock. To prevent accident, ensure usage of 110-volt power tools. Monthly inspection and valid calibration labels are available. Ensure welding machine ELCB is inspected periodically and in working condition. Only authorized electrician to perform any jobs related to electrical faults. Prior to starting any activity, check for any cut and insulation damage to welding and grinding cables. Ensure that rod holder is in good condition. Ensure that proper grounding is provided and effective. Be aware of grinding wheel damage hazards. To prevent accident, safety guard of the grinder machine must always be intact. This must be ensured prior to start of work. Ensure RPM of the disc to be greater than RPM of machine. Do pre-check on the condition of the cutting and grinding discs. Replace damaged ones. Ensure appropriate cutting and grinding wheels are used as per the activity. Don't use grinding wheel for cutting and cutting wheel for grinding. Only trained workers shall change, fix disc using right tool for the changing of disc. Safe storage of cutting wheels. Double eye protection, V2G safety glass and face shield, heavy duty leather gloves. Follow Oman HES 222 hand and portable power tools guideline. Beware of rotating parts and entanglement. To prevent accident, dead man switch and safety guard of the grinder machine must always be intact. This must be inspected prior to start of work. Guard to be in proper condition. Always unplug the power socket while changing the cutting discs or when not in use. Do not wear loose clothing, scarf or jewelry when working. Proper hand placement while using the grinding machine. Follow Oxy-Take 5 for hand safe. Ensure wearing heavy-duty gloves. Beware of fire and explosion. To prevent accident, conduct gas test periodically. Place the multi-gas monitor in an appropriate position. Conduct visual inspection to identify and remove all combustible materials, chemical tins, cans, diesel spills, oil leaks. Survey the area to identify adjacent and nearby live lines, flanges, joints, valve pits, cellar pits, etc., and must be sufficiently covered with fire blanket. FOC power cables passing directly underneath the hot work area shall be sufficiently routed, if safe, and covered with fire blanket. Habitat erected. Trained fire watcher with right fire extinguisher in place. Chemicals such as Monocoat, WD-40, etc. with valid SDS and stored away from naked flames. Avoid prolonged exposure to sunlight. Only perform tasks within the scope of the ISSOW. Beware of flying particles. To prevent accident, maintain good standard of housekeeping. Welding habitat erected and all sparks contained. Double eye protection, face shield and V2G glass for all crew members in proximity of hot works inside habitat. V2G glass for other crew members outside habitat. Eye wash in place. Beware of fingers in contact with sharp edge. To prevent accident, identify potential sharp edges and provide safety caps as appropriate. Visual checks for cage clamp, pin, screw locks, etc. Proper hand and finger placement during execution of the activities. Ensure proper line of sight between the operator, rigger, and fit-up personnel. Use IR gloves mandatory where applicable. Follow Oxy-Take 5 for hands safe. Use of task-specific gloves. Beware of accidental activation of power tools. To prevent accident, power tool plugs to be disengaged from the power while not in use. Do not place power tools on ground directly. Beware of slip, trip, and fall. To prevent accident, proper cable routing and stacking of tools and materials must be followed during and after the welding. Beware of loose soils, ditches, inclined areas, and stones. Ensure a place for everything, and everything in its proper place. The next step is post-welding activity. At this stage of work, beware of fire hazards. To prevent accident, beware of smouldering fires and fumes post-hot works. Fire watcher shall be available 30 minutes post-hot works. And finally, inspection of weld joint step. At this stage of work, beware of hot surfaces. To prevent accident, provide sufficient time prior to checking the welded joints. Don't touch the joints using cloths and cottons. Beware of filling activity, foreign body particle falling. To prevent accident, allow surface to sufficiently cool. Use heavy leather gloves. Beware of hazards while removing PPEs. To prevent accident, do not remove eye protection and clean using contaminated PPEs. Ensure safe removing of PPEs and don't keep it on the ground directly. Remove PPEs only when the activity is fully completed and safe to remove. Remember, Safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these safety requirements, we can ensure a safe and successful flow-line welding operation. Thank you for your attention, and let's work together to stay safe.